The good thing about growing up in Singapore and, of course, being in, doing my NS, with friends who are, a lot of them are Chinese. So you pick up a bit of the lingo, but I think being an MP, certain specific town council related things you kind of know quite easily, like, Mr. Singh or the TNT 有很多问题啦，你们的市政会的公共没有做好啦 that kind of thing. So some of them will say, Mr. Singh, HDB 说这个是town council 的问题，town council 说这个是 HDB 的问题。So I mean, you kind of know what's going on. The feeling amongst some of the candidates who could speak Mandarin was they weren't up to that mark. So we sat back, I think it was important to be open with the people and to also say, look, we do need more people to come on board who have who have that ability, who are bicultural. But I have to say, over the course of the campaign, I've had Kenneth Fu come out and I think he went on a Chao Pao live dialogue. My understanding from feedback is he didn't do very badly. Maybe we set too high standards for ourselves, but we have to understand that if we want to be a serious political party, we need to set that high standard. I take this back to what more than 2.5, almost 3 years ago now, when Mr. Lau first approached me to ask me to take over the party. And so my first response to him is, I said, Mr. Lau, I don't speak Mandarin, And then of course I keep going back and forth with him until after a while I think he got irritated. He said, Pritam, when I took over JBJ in Parliament in 2001, how do you think I felt? I don't speak English properly. My English standard is nothing compared to JBJ, and I'm facing an entire cabinet who speak, perfect English. And so he said, look, you will have to find your way. But the most important thing is don't lose touch with the ground. Always be who you are. I think what is helpful, at least going forward, is I'm pretty sure we will attend every Mandarin debate in future. And of course, maybe I set high expectations for people, as does Mr. Lau, that we feel if the person is not ready, please, don't xia sui the party lah. If re-elected, I think I'll have to take Mandarin lessons in a more purposeful way lah, just to get better. I have to start with a story which is a bit sad lah, which is, so Mr. Lau has lost his sense of smell. And that means it was funny when I saw him after this phase one after the circuit breaker was lifted. We sat down for more than an hour, and so we were just talking generally, and he was just telling me how he was feeling. And as you were talking about that, he told me, he said, when I was, he likes to have a drink every once in a while, and he's saying I was very unhappy because I can't taste it anymore. and he says I can feel it going down my throat. But the different taste of the drink, he can't, yeah, that's right, he can't capture it. So I hope that sense of smell slowly recovers and slowly comes back. A coffee shop like this, he does his visits, I do my visits. If residents say come have a beer with us, have a drink with us, we're very happy to join them and have a chat with them. And I think what he's really taught me is to be an MP and just to don't think so much about the officiousness of your title. Just be in touch with people. This one goes like this. When an administration is unostentatious, the people are simple. When an administration is inquisitive, the people are needy. Misery, alas, supports happiness. Happiness, alas, conceals misery. Who knows its limits? It never ceases. The normal becomes the abnormal. The good in turn becomes unlucky. The people's confusion is felt daily for a long time. And this second part, the second stanza to me is very powerful. Therefore the wise man is square, yet he does not injure. He does not injure. He is angular, but he does not annoy. He is upright, but is not cross. He is bright, but not glaring. And I mean, there's so many ways to interpret this, but I think when you read it, this whole theme that I spoke about earlier of restraint and being limiting your desires. I think it's a useful reflection for people to understand that it's not all about you. I mean, I've been in politics now for almost 10 years, and I suppose it's a story of my evolution as well. And I think as long as we talk sense in Parliament, and we reflect the views of Singaporeans, sometimes it will become edgy. Sometimes it will be like old politics, where you really have to be forceful. But I think this element of restraint is useful because it tells you, what are you doing this for? So we've got 2 girls now, and
how old are they?
They are 5. The older one is 5. The younger one is turning 2 very soon. It's hard to describe, but as a parent, you come back home, and then you may be tired, and you may be a number of things on your mind. And when your children come and hug you, or they hug your leg, oh, daddy, let's do this, let's do that, your heart lightens, and I think you start to appreciate there are many other more important things in the world. I would say we don't have enough women in politics. We need more. We need much more. And so I hope if there are women out there who feel that they have something to contribute to society, they want to do it through an opposition party, please let me know, come and talk to me.